Welcome back, everybody. We are still here in Liverpool at the 2016 Pokemon VGC National Championships, and I'm joined by my new co-commentator, Nemanja. How are you doing, man?
I'm fine, really fine. How are you?
I'm good. You were busy with some kind of Pokémon coverage over the course of the weekend, so how did that go? Was it good?
Well, really good, yeah. We are trying to create a new community of Pokémon here, and this is the first step, and we did quite well.
Yeah, nice to hear that, but usually you play the video games, so I'm sure you will be able to give us some insights on the second semi-final that will be happening very shortly. What is there left to say about Alejandro? He went undefeated in Swiss. There he is, 9-0 in the best of threes. He overcame even like matchups where we didn't know what he could do. In the top 8 set against Eric. Let's have a look at his team here. He's opting to go with that dual primal team. He has the dual mega option, unlike most other dual primal teams that we featured over the course of the weekend. And just look at the list of these accomplishments. Oh my god, that's so many. Regional champion, regional finalist, regional top 4, top 16, all this season. And then in the previous year in the seniors division, he made it to the top 8 of worlds twice in a row.
Yeah, looks like we got a new list after this tournament for him.
Yeah, and now he's adding even another very good finish to that. His team pretty standardish, but hey, he made it up to the semi-final by just very good calculation, very strong plays, solid. I don't think I saw even a single mistake on all the games that we broadcasted of him. But his opponent on the other hand, kind of the dark horse here. We don't know too much about him. Luis, also coming from Spain, so it's kind of like Spain against Spain. Now that we saw UK against UK in the other semi-final, so you don't know what Luis's team is. What do you think when you see that? Yeah, we didn't tell him on purpose. Yeah, what do you think?
This looks amazing, really. I love Mandibuzz, I love Ditto.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what kind of Mandibuzz? First time I see Mandibuzz ever focus the figure VGC 16, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. Nemanja is kind of known for also always trying to come up with clever things, new Pokemon. But his favorite Pokemon is Venusaur. That's amongst the most interesting accomplishment that we found. We found about him. He prepared well for the event. I had him in an interview earlier. A very nice guy, very humble, and he made the Mandibuzz work in his top 8 match that we showed, and no, top 16 it was against Jonathan Evans, and he was able to make it all the way into the top 4 at Nationals with a Mandibuzz. I think he's probably the only one to ever do that. So here they are facing off. What a great set! I'm so looking forward to this. The standard team clashing off against Ditto and Mandibuzz.
Am I wrong, or did Arash, our only European world champion, lost against him?
Yes, he was able to beat Arash as well. Yeah, in top 32, he beat Arash. So he was able to beat quite some big names. I am guessing about around this time at the tournament, Alejandro is probably aware that his opponent has a Mandibuzz. I mean, stuff like that spreads pretty quickly. But I'm not sure if he has like a good plan against it. By the way, in our top 32 match, I talked to Jonathan. He actually said that he was not aware of what Overcoat, the ability of Mandibuzz, did. This time Alejandro does not have an Amoonguss, so that will probably not be as much of a factor in this game. But what do you think about this matchup? I mean, dual primal mirror, but Mandibuzz?
I guess Mandibuzz is kind of the answer against a... it looks like we get the same type like Ibertal.
Yes.
And I know... Now we can tell you, and I know a bunch of interesting support moves Mandibuzz can. It has an enormous bulk, actually.
That is true. I was looking at Mandibuzz in earlier formats, but never could make it work. But I never expected it to see it like here in the semi-finals of Nationals.
Especially at this Nationals, where it got restricted Pokemon. Yeah,
it definitely in this format. So Kyogre and Thundurus is coming out against the Cresselia and Groudon from Alejandro.
We are seeing the slow Groudon here. Yeah,
but we saw this already from Luis. Depending on how much information Alejandro could gather about this team, this could become really brutal because we saw that Luis does have the roleplay.
Oh. Yeah, now we gotta see an interesting match. Because Groudon, is he going to stay in? Is he countering with the roleplay? because Cresselia is about to set up the Trick Room, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. So I would say Alejandro could take the safe play, like playing Trick Room, playing another turn, the skill swap.
Well, actually, I'm not even entirely sure if Alejandro's Cresselia even does know Trick Room. But yeah, maybe he does, and I'm mixing things up. There have been a lot of Cresselias that were around here. We do see a Protect, though, coming out.
Looks like both competitors are pretty prepared for the first round.
Okay.
Both Primal are doing the Protect. Let's see what supporters do. Then we got a T-Wave on Cresselia.
Huh. So no taunt or anything. Maybe he was anticipating something like... oh, I think there was a Thunder Wave. Maybe he was anticipating something like the Mental Herb as the item on the Cresselia. And if that Cresselia has Skill Swap, by the way, I think that's what he was going for. Okay, so he wanted to get off that Thunder Wave so that if Thundurus goes for the roleplay, Cresselia can go for the Skill Swap on ground to make it so that the Desolate Land is up again. But Luis makes a very good play here, goes for the Protect and Thunder Wave, and I'm pretty sure Alejandro did definitely not expect that.
No, definitely not. Because if you see a Cresselia and a Thundurus, you think like, he was going to be the taunt on Cresselia, because Cresselia is one of the strongest supporter we got in the metagame.
Yeah.
And he's going to try the slowdown of Cresselia, especially if you don't have the Trick Room. It's going to be tough for him, especially with the skill swap playing.
Yeah, but that was such a good move by Luis, I believe. I think that both of these competitors probably have some information about what the other brings to the table.
Especially more than me.
Yeah, since you weren't even able to watch the games that happened earlier. And there we do see that roleplay, but now Alejandro was expecting that, I would think, since, yeah, that's why he switched in his Kyogre there. But that doesn't actually mean that his position improved a lot, but he dodges the Origin Pulse here on the Kyogre.
And another Thunder
gets on the Thunder Wave. Okay, so this time he was able to connect with that Thunder Wave. Now he does have the speed advantage in terms of Kyogres. But yeah, that Thundurus is still a thing there. Could just go for a Thunderbolt to do a decent amount of damage. However, now that the roleplay trick was already used, Thundurus now does not have the Prankster ability anymore, and you cannot roleplay for the weather ability for a second time. So now Alejandro is pretty much free to just switch in his Groudon, and yeah, he's not in danger of any water type attacks.
Yeah, indeed. So, the question is, does he need Kyogre right now on the field? Because Cresselia is still a good supporter, but with probably Ice Beam or Ice Attack, you can damage Thundurus, Kyogre anywhere when you switch on the Groudon. Kyogre from Luis would be that much the problem. So I expect Kyogre to go out and Groudon comes in. But let's see what Luis is going to do.
Actually, he switches back his Thundurus and brings in Kyogre
his own Groudon
there. So that is interesting. Maybe he's expecting his opponent to switch into Groudon and wants to go for an Ice Beam anyway, so he's setting himself up into a position where he has his own Groudon. Depending on how the Groudons are trained, maybe he's faster and knows about that. So that way he can already pressure his opponent's Groudon if it comes in there. But no, we are going to see a Protector coming out from Kyogre. And now actually Alejandro would be the one that would like the Primordial Seed to be set up again.
That's right.
And we do see paralysis happening. Wow, okay, so just the switch and the Protect and then a bunch of paralysis.
Yeah. This is why paralysis is so dangerous in this MOF format right now. Especially when you get on Cresselia, because Cresselia had so much impact on the speed control in every metagame.
Yeah, and it stays on the field for such a long time that over the course of like a battle, chances are you want to attack like a couple of times. So yeah, the chances are you will not be able to get to move on occasionally. So now Luis does have his dual primals out. The Thundurus is in the back, and we know that Alejandro also has the dual primals with Cresselia. Question is, what are the last Pokemon for each of these trainers? I do think maybe Luis brought his Ditto again. We saw that in the dual primal mirror matchup against Jonathan earlier. But Alejandro's last Pokemon will of course be that Salamence. Or well, not of course, could have been the Kangaskhan, but Intimidate is just really good, and also like, yeah, just in this matchup, it's really good to have yeah, the power of Salamence.
Yeah, unfortunately the second Paralyze for Kyogre here.
Yeah, but I guess he was trying to go for Protector anyway, so that doesn't really matter too much, since Yeah, maybe the speed drop could be a problem later on if Cresselia is outspeeding it now. But what did that Groudon go for? Did he just go for Christmas Blades?
No, I think, no, let me say, I saw some matches on Twitch when I had to kind of break for a meal. I get the Stone Edge. I saw the Stone Edge for Alejandro's Groudon, from Luis Groudon. No, Alejandro's Groudon knows Stone Edge. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of people have opted to go for that Stone Edge. But yeah, my Spanish is a little bit rusty. How about yours? Yeah.
Let's try it out.
I don't know. But yeah, so Stone Edge, another interesting thing, and we saw it on the stream earlier where, for example, Joseph Richardson made the call and Stone Edged into the incoming Salamence. But yeah. So, PokeAlex, Alejandro, sorry, does have Cresselia and Salamence on the field now against the two primals, but I still think, despite the fact that he does not have his restricted mod on the field, he's exerting quite a lot of pressure. So that Luis decided to switch out his Groudon into the Thundurus, which of course has a way better matchup against Salamence. And Kyogre also coming in from Alejandro now. So yeah, this matchup is just really awkward. Let's see if Alejandro is finally able to do like a good amount of damage with that Salamence, or if he's a little bit afraid of that paralysis. I could also see Substitute being a play, but no, he just goes for the protection.
This is most likely the safest place because you can do a ton of damage against the Kyogre, but then you feel the Ice Beam, and the Ice Beam is a clear one.
Icy Wind,
but
though.
the Icy Wind, see here.
Yeah, what do you think about Icy Wind?
I really like Icy Wind on Kyogre because you expect most likely the Ice Beam, Origin Pulse, Water Spout combination, and Ice Beam is kind of good for speed control because the physical bulk of Kyogre isn't the biggest, so you try to train it very well on HP and defense, and when you do that, you don't have to invest in speed. You just do the Icy Wind and you have the speed control.
Yeah, the commentators team is a fan of Icy Wind. Like whenever we saw Icy Wind, we would bring up, like Icy Wind, such a great move. So yeah, I think it's pretty much established now in the European community at least, and yeah, I'm sure we will see it at a lot of tournaments. So Hyper Voice is the attack of choice here for Alejandro, but no Thunder Wave or anything, just the Thunderbolt coming out into that Kyogre, and Ice Beam comes through here, hits the Thundurus, will it be able to pick up the KO, and it goes down.
And now we got the first Pokemon who's fainted.
Yeah, but Kyogre paralyzed. I'm pretty sure that probably, was that Ice Beam, since there wasn't really too much Alejandro could have switched into, or the Icy Wind rather, that he could have switched into that. And yeah, even though like most of the time you go for the Icy Wind, and the crowd really likes the Ditto. Usually you go for the Icy Wind for the speed control, but in this specific situation, since Salamence outspeeds, or like the Ditto Salamence outspeeds the Kyogre anyway, he just wanted to get off some damage against that Salamence. His Kyogre is paralyzed, so even with those speed drops from Icy Wind, he couldn't have done too much.
We see a pretty solid position for Luis, especially when the Salamence don't have the Draco Meteor. Yeah. Because Salamence is able to knock off the Kyogre. And Kyogre's, from Luis, the Kyogre is able to knock off the Salamence from Alejandro.
Yeah, it depends. Depends on how they're trained. Icy Wind can or cannot KO that Salamence.
Ah, right, Icy Wind. Yeah. Maybe it's both. I don't know. You don't. I don't know.
No, me neither. But I wouldn't be surprised. Luis's team is full of surprises. No, yeah, there's the double edge. However, he goes into that Salamence slot and hits the Cresselia instead of going for the Kyogre. So nice prediction there by Alejandro. He is for sure really happy about this. Gets off the Ice Beam, so Ditto goes down. What do you think about Ditto?
I would like it because Ditto's
Pokemon you can more control. The Thunderbolt?
Thunderbolt? No,
I think it was Thunderbolt.
That's wow.
I think it was Thunderbolt.
It was a surprise. It didn't. Yeah, I guess I'm surprised. Surprised Alejandro.
Yeah. I guess if you want to have like, okay, so usually Kyogres go for Thunder. Obviously, I mean you have the easy synergy. And Rain, it always hits.
30% paralyzed. It's always a win-win situation, really nice most likely.
Yes. So, however, in that dual primal team, I think. Luis must have found himself in situations so often where he just wanted to hit that Thunderbolt, but he had to have his own Groudon on the field as well. So, the sun was up, and then all of a sudden, Thunder's accuracy is only 50%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably why he opted to go for Thunderbolt. If he wins the game and we will go to a post-game interview, I will definitely ask him about that one. But okay, so this crazy game just got a little bit more crazy. We didn't see the Mandibus, but Thunderbolt Kyogre. He has so many interesting choices.
How long does Kyogre paralyzed stay there without taking any big damage? He's just staying there?
for the entirety of the game, basically. So yeah, Alejandro, he didn't like do any damage almost to the primals of his opponent, whereas Luis was able to deal a lot of damage to that Kyogre already and to the Cresselia. So despite the fact, I think we saw a Precipice Blades.
Yeah, from Luis, but
missed there. Yes. So that could have been really nice. And we do see the skill swap. So now Groudon does have the Levitate ability, does not have to fear any ground type attacks anymore, but Thunderbolt picks up the KO and just like, that's what we were talking about.
Now I get it. Now I get it.
I mean, Icy Wind doesn't do any damage, so in the sun you go with Thunderbolt. that's really funny. But yeah, that Precipice Blades miss from Luis's end, really unfortunate. Alejandro on the other side was able to connect with both his Precipice Blades, and now all of a sudden, remember, like at the beginning of the tournament, I was like, Alejandro wasn't able to do a lot of damage to the primals of his opponent. Yeah, look at the health bars. They're in Hyper Voice KO range, and that should seal the game here.
That's a pretty good positioning by Alejandro. Keeping the Salamence from the end with a Hyper Voice, just doing a bit of damage with Precipice Blades.
Yeah, Precipice Blades was definitely the one move that he needed to land there. Even if Luis connected with his Precipice Blades, though, I doubt that it would have been enough to bring Alejandro's Groudon in critical range. And so, he must feel really happy about himself. Only one game away of making it to his first ever Nationals finals, at least in the Masters division. He probably also played some in the Seniors division, but I'm not entirely sure about that. Luis, on the other hand, kind of, the dark horse. I think he was at like 200 and something, maybe 300 championship points before this tournament, he told me in the interview. So he really, really needs to make it like very, very deep. He's already in the top 4, but if he wants to compete at the Pokemon World Championship, if he wants to get that paid invite, he probably has to win it all.
Oh, nice to know. So it looks like when I see Luis' face, I want to see, do I want to be Mandibus? I think I want to be Mandibus.
Yeah, you think Mandibus is coming now?
When it's really like I think it supports it, like Snarl, Tailwind, it should be quite well against. Maybe we see a knockoff for Cresselia.
Yeah,
because I'm pretty sure Alejandro bring Cresselia again. Cresselia has such a great synergy in this team. Yeah,
Cresselia really helped a lot. He was trying to set himself up with that skill swap right at the end into a position where his Groudon wasn't really harmed too much. Unfortunately for him, it didn't work out the way he probably planned it, since the opponent's Groudon was faster, but then that Precipice Blades miss just bailed him out there, but then again he probably would have won anyway. But so Cresselia with that skill swap ability, being able to spread Thunder Wave was really important on the Kyogre, just to make sure you just know your speed tiers, With those primals, if you get the Thunder Wave on the Kyogre, you just know that your Groudon and your Kyogre are going to be faster, whereas if you don't do that, then you just never know. There can always be like the role play coming out, and it's just not very pleasant.
I like the kind of speed and mind games when you face dual primal against dual primal, because every player here is individual. Like, someone prefer fast Groudon, slow Kyogre, someone in a different way, fast Kyogre, slow Groudon. Yeah. It really depends on the player, how you feel like. And I guess we got Luis, when it's come up, he gets a very bulky Kyogre, especially when you got Icy Wind.
And for the first time, at least when I'm commentating, I do see the Kangaskhan of Alejandro making an appearance. He seemed to be really fond of his Salamence, but for this matchup, he feels like, okay, I've seen some of the tricks now. I see the role play, for example, from the Thundurus. I don't want to take the risk here with that Cresselia and Groudon. Like, he put himself in a pretty rough spot after that turn 1 play from Luis in the last game to protect Thunder Wave. Like Alejandro was in a really rough position, but he managed to climb back for that, and now he's like, okay, so I want to be in a good position from the start on, so he leads with Kangaskhan and Thundurus.
Yeah, especially Kangaskhan is at the moment the only Pokemon who can avoid to get paralyzed to the fake out. So it's the only chance where you can say, okay, I don't want this round to be one of my Pokemon be paralyzed, because I don't like to be paralyzed. So do a kind of like fake out taunt or get fake out straight attack in the Thundurus Because like kind of mind games Alejandro is going to take now.
Yeah, of course he could also do something like fake out the Thunderous and switch into Groudon, so that is something Luis has to keep in mind, so that he can possibly not as easily go for that water type attack. But doesn't look like Alejandro wanted to take that risk of running into an Icy Wind, but let's see. So no Protects coming out here, and fake out will hit that Thunderous for good damage.
Yeah, we don't see the pop-up of the Citrus Berry, and also damage, I think it's a Sash, well, offensive one. I don't see any investment in bulk, in HP or defense.
Yeah, that was definitely Focus Sash, or most likely. And Origin Pulse coming out though, so he did not fear that Groudon switch in, dealing a decent amount of damage to both the Kangaskhan and Thunderous, but looks like the Kangaskhan is also a little bit more on the defensive end. And yeah, he was able to take out that Thunderous turn 1. Now, that play of Alejandro was probably a little bit risky, knowing that there was always the potential, for example, Thunderous could have either protected or switched out into Groudon. Though, then again, if he switched the Thunderous into Groudon, for example, he couldn't have gone for like the water type attack with Kyogre, so that was probably not an option. Maybe he has information on the Thunderous, but yeah, risky play either way from Alejandro, but really playing off here, and now Luis has to find a way to come back into this one.
Yeah, interesting choice to bring Groudon here. So
yeah, if he has Ditto in the back.
Yeah, if he had Ditto in the back, I would play probably Ditto, because you most likely Oh no, we got a bulk here, Thunderous here. So the question is, Luis don't know if he had Ditto in the back. He don't know who's fast, Thunderous or Kangaskhan, because if Thunderous was faster, you could just knock out it with a Thunderbolt.
Yeah, that is an interesting thought there, but not knowing what his opponent's Pokemon are trained like, he does not feel like going for that. Instead, just bringing out your Groudon, and I mean, with your Ditto, usually you want to copy one of your opponent's primal Pokemon.
Yeah, but knowing you are playing Groudon, you're taking two attacks before you can attack.
Yes, so the Thunder Wave is going to be the first of those 2 attacks, but actually Groudon hits first here with the Precipice Blades, outspeeding the Kangaskhan of Alejandro, and yeah, that will go down. And now, if Kyogre went for that Icy Wind, that should also deal a decent amount of damage to that Thunderous, being a single target attack. However, it is just enough to, yeah, barely hang in there.
Yeah, now we got an interesting position, because you have both the both the primals in full HP on the field against 2 kind of support Pokemon.
And Alejandro, I was thinking about this when I saw his leads, but didn't mention it yet. Yeah, he did not bring both of his primals. He probably opted to only go with his... What do you think? Kyogre or Groudon in the back?
I would say more like Groudon, because you have the skill swap option.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah,
well,
maybe that's why he went after the Thunderous so aggressively, to take the roleplay out of the game. And yeah, now that he was able to achieve that, he could just I don't know, like get himself into position. For example, go for Icy Wind right here if he has it, and then skill swap his own Groudon to make his Groudon kind of invulnerable against both the Groudon and the Kyogre from his opponent's attack.
Yeah, I don't think you want a Kyogre versus Kyogre when your Kyogre can't really hit.
Yeah, I like the move a lot. He went for a taunt there, and Precipice Blades coming out from Luis. I'm not too sure about that one. He was fishing there for a Groudon or a Kyogre switching, I would guess. But yeah, bringing out the taunt to make sure that there is no like substitute coming out, no, I don't know, Sword Dance, or also just to stop him from protecting the next turn. And Alejandro tried to set himself up with that Icy Wind for the skill swap play potentially if he has Groudon in the back, but Luis also going for the Icy Wind, so now the speed of both the Groudon and the Cresselia is dropped, so now the Groudon is faster again and could go for that Precipice Blades.
Now we can see who is the final if he brings
yes,
two prime.
And it's Groudon. Okay, so that's what we were expecting.
Yes, so good.
Yeah, but however, he taunted his opponent's Groudon, so now he can just go for Protect and Icy Wind. And as long as Icy Wind connects and Luis does not switch out his Groudon, he can be sure that he will be able to get off that attack, since there is no way Groudon can protect since he taunted it. So very wise play by Alejandro, identifying his condition here. If he sets up that Groudon, yeah, that can be really, really good for him. But we have also that Ditto potentially in back for Luis. And yeah, if he copies the Levitating Groudon, that's certainly not something I've seen yet in this format.
It will actually be pretty funny because you have to face fire attacks against Groudon in the sun.
Hold that thought though. And there's the Ditto coming in for Cresselia. Okay.
That's interesting.
Okay, so he will take that Cresselia instead of the Groudon that we kind of suggested. And Sword Dance coming out here from Alejandro's Groudon, but Luis's Groudon should outspeed the Cresselia as it does, but he goes for the Fire Punch, expecting the Protect and Icy Wind play that I was suggesting earlier. So he went out there and wanted to make a prediction, but unfortunately for him, Alejandro was able to read into that pretty nicely, sets up the Sword Dance and is now in a commanding lead position.
Now we're gonna see, we got 2 Cresselias and 2 Groudons in the field. The advantage is definitely by Alejandro because both of the Pokemon are in the minus speed, and I don't think Luis is in a quite comfortable position.
I think he needs to get out that Ditto and copy the Groudon again, and then maybe hope to activate the Quick Claw or something if he gets Icy Winded.
Oh, he gets Quick Claw.
Yeah, on the Ditto. But
nice.
I think if he manages to copy the Groudon, there's the Quick Claw. Yes. So we will skill swap. Yeah, that's a skill swap. Nice! What a nice play. The crowd clapping outside as well. Really, really nice play there for him. I mean, of course, Precipice Blades will hit the Cresselia, but not the Groudon. And now that is around for another time. Now, if Ditto had copied that Groudon, then yeah, he would have also copied the +2 boost from Sword Dance, but now we see Precipice Blades coming out, and that does a lot of damage to Groudon. Now let's see, what does Cresselia do? Does he also go for the skill swap? Yes, he does. But thanks to that Icy Wind earlier, all the way back from Kyogre, Groudon, yeah, still faster than the Cresselia, and was able to get off that Precipice Blades right before that skill swap happened. So yeah, this game is coming down to the wire. Both Groudons are levitating. Alejandro's is at highly increased attack. And yeah, Kyogre hits the field, so now no ground type attacks because they're levitating.
Yeah.
No water,
no fire
type attacks because it's raining. Yeah, so he has to take out that Kyogre first. But same goes for Luis's Groudon as well. What an interesting outcome of this game.
This we didn't see it coming because we saw Ditto. Ditto till the last copies the levitated +2 Groudon. But he completely took the supporter, bet on the Quick Claw, which actually gets 30%?
No, it's like 1 in 6, but it's still like a decent chance. So we do see the Protect from Groudon.
Rock Slide?
I'm not sure. Oh, maybe he was anticipating the Rock Slide. Okay. And we do see the Gravity coming out. So now all of that levitating shenanigans that we saw earlier are now completely nullified. And Alejandro knows that his Precipice Blades will hit. Kyogre from Luis is paralyzed here, but I'm not too sure if it matters too much because now Alejandro has that boosted Groudon with Precipice Blades and he knows that he cannot miss.
That's right. And I'm pretty curious if Kyogre is defensive trained, like I think he's going to stay this.
You think he's going to hang in there?
Yeah.
Even against that mighty Precipice Blades? No, he's not.
Wrong.
Wow, what an effort. Great job by both trainers. Really fantastic game there. Maneuvering around with Cresselias and Dittos, levitates, skill swaps all over the place. And in the end, Alejandro is able to come out on top of that. He wins the set 2-0 thanks to his Sword Dance and that Gravity in the end. He made sure that he could not miss the Precipice Blades. Yeah, what a set.
This is my first VGC set, and this was really awesome.
Yeah.
Because you saw like, you have this Alejandro, who's known in the whole community, and I was like, okay, he's one of my favorites for this tournament. And I was curious to see how he plays, and he plays so quite well.
Yes.
Even against such a creative, weird team like Luis is playing.
I mean, we didn't see the Mandibus, but still, Ditto. We were talking about this earlier on the stream. Like, it's so tough with the Ditto. Like, depending on in which order you pick your Pokemon, the situation can be completely different.
Yeah.
So you have to be very flexible in your plans and in your mind, and you never know where the Ditto is coming in and so on. But Alejandro, was perfectly fine with that. He knew that in the end, all he needed to do, despite being down in Pokemon, get the skill swap on his Groudon, get the Levitate, and then, that's what he needed to do. What a great game. We will have a post-game interview with Alejandro just in a bit, and then the finals is coming up, so don't go anywhere. And we are back here in Liverpool with the winner and the finalist of the 2016 Pokemon VGC UK National Championships, Alejandro Gomez. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
How do you feel about that last game, though?
Well, pretty well. Although
Yeah.
I got lucky in the first game,
Yes.
so I think we should have gone to the third one.
Yes.
But that's it.
Yeah. What did you expect going into team preview when you saw the Mandibus and the Ditto?
It was pretty tough, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, the main problem. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. The main problem actually was Thunderous, in my opinion, since it had town roleplay and it was focus size,
Yes.
so it was faster than mine. So I had to get rid of Thunderous as
Yes.
soon as possible,
Yes.
as I did in game 2.
Game 2. Yeah.
Yeah. And well, in game 1, as I said you before, I got lucky.
Yes. The first turn of the first game, when you were leading Cresselia and Groudon, so you were kind of baiting out the role play, you
Yeah,
know, so
exactly.
you could then Thunder Wave and then skill swap.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we were thinking about that and we were like, oh yeah, like Lewis is going to run into that, but then he made the perfect play
Yeah.
and went for the Thunder Wave. Yeah, what did you think of that? Did you expect that of him or?
I actually didn't.
Yes.
So that was a very good play.
Yeah,
for
that
me.
was very good play. But you managed to come back. And yeah, also in the second game, we were thinking about that. When we saw that you went for the fake out and Thunderbolt on the Thunderous in the second game, we were thinking, okay, so maybe he has Cresselia and Groudon in the back, so then he can go for the skill swap and make
Yeah.
his Groudon invulnerable. Because, yeah, your opponent ran a pretty interesting set on their Kyogre.
Yeah,
With,
Icy Wind.
Yeah, Icy Wind and Thunderbolt. So, yeah, was that your plan? Just setting up Groudon and then sweep from there? Or
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
I mean, Kyogre really wasn't doing that much.
Yeah.
But, I mean, once I set up Icy Wind with Groudon, that should be pretty fine in system.
Yes, and then of course one of the last hype positions in that second game, the Ditto coming in, copying the Cresselia. We were thinking about, yeah, maybe he's going to send the Ditto out to copy your Groudon after you went for the Sword Dance, but no, he wanted to take the Cresselia, and then Quick Claw activates and he
Yeah.
skill swaps. Yeah, what was going through your head at that point?
To be honest, that was my reaction. That was
Okay,
funny.
Yeah, it was funny. I mean, you could have still played the third game if you weren't able to win this one, but in the end, with gravity, of course, yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
So now the final is coming up against Ethan Hall. Do you know him at all?
Not really.
Okay, because to me, I mean, I know his name. He's been around, but yeah, looking at the semi-final pairings, yeah, I mean, I guess William Tansley was probably the favorite, but now you're facing Ethan Hall in the finals. How do you feel about that matchup?
I think he's running Journey as Groudon.
Yes.
Okay. I guess I should be fine, but you don't know. It's
Yes.
Pokemon, so...
Okay. Yeah, that's clever advice. You never know. It's Pokemon. So yeah. I mean, I don't want to take any more of your time. I'm sure you will do a great job in the finals. Congratulations already to making it to your first Nationals finals. Were you in finals at seniors?
Yeah. I
Okay,
did.
yeah. So you know what it feels like. Yeah, but
Yeah.
at the big stage, at the Masters, it's probably something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're down to 2 players out of over 300, and we'll be right back with the finals. So congrats again, and thanks.
Thank you.